My mom's remarkable green thumb is one of her many talents, and one I absolutely do not share. In fact, I killed all but one of the plants she ever gave me. She knows this, but the last time we saw each other after a 7-year absence, she gave me a tall jade plant with pale green shiny leaves. I understand why. This is her way of showing love. My mother and I have always had an uncomfortable relationship, but throughout the years she'd give me plants to bridge our differences in life, where only emptiness might stand alone. In college, she gave me cacti, aloe, and succulents, all of the hard-to-kill flora. When I was living in Myrtle Beach and would visit my parents at their home in Charleston, South Carolina, I always took back another offspring of the Westminster school cactus my mom resuscitated like Frankenstein's mother, a monster, 15 years before. She took in the sickly cactus from her stint as a plant-room chair during one of my elementary school fundraising fairs. Little things like pickle, everyone that's gonna die. And then now, 20 years later, there's great-great-great-grandchildren of this little cacti. My mom and I stopped talking for 7 years after I told her I was pregnant. She ran screaming from the phone, cursing at my father and me, and she fled from the room. I was 29, I would be married in a month, and would have a hungry baby boy delivered by C-section in 5 months. With therapy and lots of love and support from my husband's family and my friends, I got over the loss of my mother. But I mourned not hearing her raucous laughter while she watched British comedies on PBS. I mourned her sharp wit when she discussed local politics, and I mourned not sharing my son's birth with her. Why did we become estranged? I know she was hurt. I know she felt as if she lost all control over me. I know she knew nothing would ever be the same between us. She feared me. She's French, so she has had a different upbringing than most Americans. Born in Paris, just before Hitler's occupation, she remembers the jackboots pivoting on wet streets and the bombs dropped by the Americans. She had a tough relationship with her own mother, my grandmother, who sent her to boarding school at age 7. At one point in her life, she knew 4 languages, hitchhiked across Europe, and always managed to find work in any country she wanted to. Eventually, she married my dad and settled in Washington, D.C., where my brother and I lived a quiet, suburban, middle-class existence that stressed education and culture. She was a devoted and dutiful stay-at-home mother who raised us with a lot of structure and routine. If we angered her, she'd often give us the silent treatment. Little did I know then that she was capable of giving me the silent treatment for 7 years. Yet last January, I saw my mother again. A few weeks before our visit, I called my dad to say I'd be coming down to Charleston to work on a story assignment for a magazine. I would be by myself. To my surprise, my mom invited me to dinner. At the end of the somewhat tense evening, I told her I forgave her and that I was sorry she missed a lot of things in my life. Here, take this home, she said as I hefted a 10-pound jade plant into the back of my Subaru. The darn thing covered up my rear vision like a jumble of braid balloons. I decided I couldn't kill this one and gently carried it inside the garage for safekeeping from our fluctuating winter weather. After our surprise early March snow, I took it around our deck to get it the full sun it was used to in Charleston. Although I didn't nourish it or talk to it as my mother would, it's survived.